Okay, so we're going to do the last two examples, and these really focus on the effect of a transformation on an individual point. So in example 9, we're starting at the point 3, 6, and then we're just doing all of these basic transformations to this particular point. So when we're trying to find a point on a new graph, they're not asking us to graph this because we can't, because they only give us one point to work with. So we just want to find a point on basically find where this point goes under this transformation. So for part A, we replace x with x minus 2. That's going to be a shift to the right. So the right, that means we're going to add 2 to the x coordinate. We're going to leave the y coordinate unchanged. So this is going to 3 plus 2, comma 6, which is 5, 6. Okay. This next one, we have y equals 2 times f of x. The 2 is on the outside. That means we're multiplying the y coordinate by 2. It's going to be a vertical stretch. All you have to know is that we're multiplying the y coordinate by 2. So this is now going to be 3, comma 6 times 2, or 3, comma 12. Part C, we're changing the minus is on the outside. This is a reflection through the x-axis, and so we're changing the sign of the y coordinate. So this is going to be 3 minus 6. Unlike this one, we have y equals f of minus x. The minus is on the inside, so we're changing the sign of the x coordinate. So this is minus 3, 6. Y equals f of 3x. Okay, now because the 3 is on the inside, okay, we're doing the opposite of what we would think. So we're going to change the x coordinate, but instead of multiplying by 3, we're going to divide by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So basically what's going on here is this is 3 times 1/3, 6, or 1/6. And then I realized when I made up the notes, I realized I lifted the same problem twice. So I just added a 1 here. Here we have to do just a couple other things. The same as part D, except we're adding 1 to it. So here we, once again, as we did in part D, this is going to get negative 3, 6. And then we add 1 to the y coordinate. So this would be negative 3, 6 plus 1. Which is negative 3, 7. Okay. So here in part F we just did 2 transformations instead of 1. Okay, so this is a technique that you might want to use if you're asked to sketch if you're asked to transform a funny looking graph like this, which is not one of your basic functions. This looks like actually could be the graph of a piecewise defined function. But the idea here is if you can identify some important points on the graph and just see where the graph sends the transformation sends those points. Those will be points on the new graph. And we know that whether we're shifting up or down or reflecting, we're still going to have 3 line segments connected like so. Okay, so if we keep that in mind, basically we can just find out where this point goes, this point, and this point goes, and basically literally connect the dots when we're done. So the 4 points that we're interested in, this point is negative 3, 0. This point is negative 1, 2. This point is 1, 2. And this point is 4, negative 1. These points all lie on the graph of f of x. Now to get from here to here, we first need to replace x with x plus 1. Then put a minus sign in front of that. And then add 2. Okay. And then we just want to see where did these points go under these 3 transformations. Okay, so x is replaced with x plus 1. That's going to be a shift left 1 unit. So this will be, so negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So this is negative 4, 0. This is negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. Now here, the minus is on the outside, so we're just going to change the sign of the y-coordinates. So we have negative 4. Well, minus 0 is just 0. Then we have this 2 becomes minus 2. This 2 becomes minus 2. And this negative 1 becomes positive 1. Okay. And then finally we add 2 to the y-coordinate because we're shifting the graph up. So this will be, so the x-coordinate stays the same. We add 2 to the y-coordinate. So this is negative 4. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. And 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay. So these 4 points are going to be on our new graph. Okay, so we plot these points. So that's negative 4, 2, negative 2, 0, 0, 0, and 3, 3. And then we just connect the dots. Okay. And that's the graph of this.